Hello, and welcome back to another Sub CLE. Today, I have a good friend of mine. Haven't talked to him in a while. Created some really good music back in the day, and apparently he's got some new music on the way. Pat Walkey, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
So, just we'll talk about it. So your band Godmode. You were doing something with that, then you went into something else, and then you're kind of coming back to it after all these years. You got some new music. You played a little bit of it for me, and I think it's really, really good. Why don't we just get started with talking about the new recording?
Well, the new recording is it's coming together based out of some studio stuff that was put together.
Okay.
James started writing some stuff. Some of it's years old. We're working on newer stuff.
So James was the original guitar player. You guys started this, how long ago?
It was back in 97.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you know James? How did that get together?
We met through the Scene magazine. The back pages musicians wanted.
Really?
Yeah, that's
the classic.
How the whole band got put together. I mean, it was just, that's just crazy. That whole search. I remember that going off the rails many times. Trying to find people, and I remember winding up in strip clubs and, things going on that shouldn't have, I'm supposed to be, jamming with this dude, and we're, sitting here watching people shake their money makers.
So you meet somebody and then you're like, hey, where's a good place to meet? Strip club.
Well, that wasn't even the place to meet. That's just where we wound up after he went, hey, let's go find some stuff to party with and then go there. And I'm like, the next day, hungover, like, yeah, I don't think he's going to work.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of par for the course for a while, trying to, especially with drummers, constantly on the search for drummers.
It's a Spinal Tap thing, right?
That's how it was with us. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, all right. Well, you know what? Okay, we're gonna come back to the new recording, but how did you get started with the whole music thing? So, because you sing in your projects, do you play any instruments at all? Or
I play a little bass, a little keyboard,
okay,
and fart around on guitar. Nothing I would write home about, but I can move around a little bit.
Okay.
But
as far as starting out, what were some early inspirations or whatever?
Honestly, totally early inspiration was probably the Doors.
Okay.
I was into poetry and stuff when I first started, and I wrote a lot of poetry.
I'm with you on that. I was the same way.
Morrison kind of struck me in that whole aspect.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like the Sabbath entry into metal, but I also my mom had a ton of 45s of oldies and stuff that I would go through.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of classic rock and rock influence in the earlier stuff. And then I started singing along with Guns N' Roses and Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, and stuff like that, and could actually hit highs that I never pursued in the bands that I'm in, because it's just not the style I was going for. But King Diamond was another one.
Well, that's talk about high.
I was able to hit those falsetto pitches.
Oh yeah.
But again, it was just I wasn't trying to do that, and I never really honed it I could hit them, but I could never I would never sit there and work it into.
Now, did you ever sing in school or anything like that, or you just kind of sang on your own?
Just sang on my own. Yeah. Family wasn't really super musical.
Well, yeah.
But it was just something that just, I don't know, it just got in me, and I kept pursuing it. And then I got to a point where I know myself well enough that if I started telling people like, I'm going to start a band, like it's going to, because I don't want to fall on my face and be like, a couple years down the road, people be like, oh, what happened to that band you were in? So, right. So I, like started telling people, and then that's kind of what put the spark in my ass to, like pursue putting the ad in the paper, which.
Okay. So you actually, but that's something I don't know if I would have had the balls to do as like a singer, because like I started playing guitar, and it was like, and then I had a bunch of friends, so I didn't have to put an ad in or whatever. But like to be we were looking for singers, and we definitely responded to some ads, and you get some unique characters,
For sure.
But yeah, and I always say like I don't know if I could have, I sang in a band, and I just don't know that I ever felt comfortable enough singing to like put an ad out to look for a band, right?
Right.
So you did that, and then you got a response from.
Yeah, well, and where that's concerned too, I guess I got to backtrack a little. I didn't have anything to show. Yeah. I did start like I answered a couple ads, and I wasn't finding styles that I that were just gelling with me. Yeah. So that's what made me decide to start the band, but I didn't have anything to show anybody. Right. So what I did was I bought a 4-track, and I took Helmet Meantime, and I turned it down just low enough. I sung over it.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I showed James and Tim, and they were surprisingly let me play music with them after that.
I gotta know the 4-track. What was that, like a Fostex or a Tascam or?
It was actually a Marantz. It was
I don't know that.
They had it. It was like I wound up having to take it back, and I got a Tascam after that because it bugged out on me. But it had like the VU meters on it. Yeah. That's what drew me to it. I just like that analog look, so.
Like I think we were like one of the last generations that probably had to deal with that kind of stuff because everything turned digital now and it's a lot easier, Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about like the inspirations too, like when you were saying, you talk to a lot of people our age, and, we're young guys and, but the influences are always like your parents and this and that, whatever. And I'm just curious, like nowadays, like kids have access to like everything, you know what I mean? So like the inspiration isn't necessarily their parents, what the media their parents had, because they have access to anything now. Right. So, I mean, I'm always curious to see how, because that moves things in a different way. So like, how is music going to be 10 years from now, or 30 years from now, or is it going to be all AI generated, whatever?
I hope not.
I mean, I think that, everyone's concerned about this AI thing, but I think the reason why people make music is, and why an artist would make music is because you're expressing yourself and you're tapping into something cosmic that flows through you, And if you're just making music to make money, then sure, do AI or whatever. Or if you need like a jingle for your commercial, for your business or whatever, that's fine. But I think there's always going to be a need for somebody to be able to connect with somebody they can feel, because all this is flowing through us, right? Right. And when you express yourself, somebody connects with that in a way that I don't think like an AI generated thing could produce, So I think there's always going to be a human need.
Yeah, it's the energy, it's the toil and the hours of practice and everything that's gone into that, and the person's soul, like that they bring themselves into that art. Right. And that gives it more value than any AI is going to do, And, right. And I've heard that people have actually been able to command more money as of recently for their own actual art than AI, because people value it more. because anybody could put a prompt in and
Right.
spit out something in 10 seconds. But all that practice, all that toil, all that hard work that went into that,
yeah.
you know, that's something that you can't put a dollar amount on, you know,
Right.
like that's something that somebody put their life into and people appreciate that. And I don't think that's going to go away. Commercially,
I think it's going to, like you said, I think it's going to make it more valuable. I've said this, and I think I completely agree with you, but yeah.
On a commercial level, I think it's going to screw some people.
Sure.
But
yeah.
where people's personal art, putting that out, music, visual arts and stuff like that, I think that there's still going to be a value held where their personal output is concerned.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's human expression. Sure. The laundromat coming up with the ad, they could just AI that shit, you know,
right.
And that's going to put a certain amount of people out of a job, you know, it probably already has. I mean, honestly, you know, but yeah, as an art form and as some kind of expression that somebody can connect with, I don't think it'll ever be replaced. I mean, unless you get like, I hate calling it AI because it's not AI. It's just a bunch of information gathered together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not intelligence.
It's like a souped up search engine.
Yeah.
It's basically what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, so even if they can, they're going to have to get it to tap into that like cosmic, you know, I'm not a religious guy, but there is something spiritual. There's something non-physical that exists, that flows through everything. you know,
it's like the Schumann resonance. You know, of the
I don't know what that is.
That's the resonance, the frequency that the planet vibrates on.
Oh, is that the ohm thing or whatever?
Yeah, I believe that's tied into it as well.
Okay.
But I mean, that's everything else is tied into that, you know, like everything feeds off of that. So if there's a resonance that doesn't vibrate along with the way nature vibrates, then it's going to be dissonant and people are going to feel that, you know, and that's where, you know, tying back into the AI, people, I mean, me personally, I'm not for AI, especially with the data centers and all that stuff that are going up and the water and all that's requiring it's
the energy and everything.
Yeah, it's and people are getting displaced out of their houses on eminent domain and all that because that's just I don't think it's right. But that all, you know, that dissonant energy, I think people on some subconscious level feel and they, you know, resonate or don't resonate with it, and that's in the end that's going to win out, in my opinion, where art is concerned, you know, like taking it back to the art. Yeah,
I completely agree. I think, I mean, I do, I use AI a lot, or I hate calling it AI, but whatever, for lack of a better word, let's use that. I use it a lot, you know, like I'll say, oh, I got these ingredients, and I'm a pretty good cook, so I can kind of figure things out, you know. So a lot of times I know what it's going to say, but like I'll be like, hey, I have these ingredients. What can I make with this, you know, whatever. And then it comes back, and I'm like, well, I'm looking for more of this and whatever. And it's actually a pretty useful tool, you know. Can it be a replacement for expression? I mean, and that's what, you know, because I've always said, I play music not to make money or not to whatever. I do it because I have to. I do so much that I never even put out there, just because, you know, you sit here and play a guitar or something or sing a song or whatever. It's therapeutic. It's something I think humans have to express themselves in some way. And I've said this before on this, I'm sure, a million times. You know, I really feel like everyone has to express themselves in some way. And if you don't, then it turns negative. It turns into anxiety or some kind of disorder or something or whatever, cancer, whatever, you know what I mean? And if you just have a way to express yourself, you know, and expressing yourself is just like having the energy flow through you. you know, like when somebody writes a song, like when you write a song, where does the idea come from? It's not you, right?
Right. No, I mean, sometimes I'll
You're just,
spit out a song and I'm like, where'd all that come from?
yeah.
You know?
Like dreams, like when you dream of something, it's like, where'd that come from?
Right.
You know, or yeah, but yeah, like, yeah, I get into a point where I'm like writing. I do a lot of writing, and it's like you get lost in it, and then you go back and read it, and it's like, where did that come from?
It's just like
I can't take credit for
conduit and you pull it out of the ether, you know,
Right.
like it's crazy because I've done that, you know, and I've even done that like where I've written like screenplay ideas.
Yeah.
And then a couple years down the road, I'll notice something where something comes out that's very similar.
Very similar, yeah.
And it's like, was that, you know, like a spec shoot type thing, you know, where they like put out the call, the universe put out the call and somebody answered it, and it just wasn't me quick enough. You know?
Well, and that's you need to take credit for that. But no, that was in A Waking Life. There was a scene with Julia Delphi, I think that's her name, and Ethan Hawke, and they're laying in bed, you know, and he's talking about how I don't know, I'm going to butcher this, but you know, how it's like somebody thinks of an idea and then like now that it's in the universe, like everyone else can kind of tap into that. Everyone else can kind of like, oh, there it is. It's like you think of something and it's like, now it's there. Now it exists. Now everyone can tap into that.
It's something called morphic resonance. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah.
It's basically that concept. When something's there, then it can be achieved from other people across the world. Right. There's recorded occurrences of this happening.
Yeah.
I don't have the memory to sit there and go on into specifics, but if you look up morphic resonance, there's a lot on that. Okay. Where it's that 100th monkey effect ties into that also.
I don't know what that
is. It's just basically based off the same concept. Yeah. Where when 100 monkeys do something that the rest of them they know it.
Oh, right.
Type of thing, you know. So it's a similar thing, like just a shared energy field in a sense, you know. And you know that sounds all woo, but I mean, I don't think there's documented evidence. There's science that studied it, you know. Yeah.
What do you think prohibits humans from like tapping into that more? Because it almost seems like you have to like meditate or get into that zone, like when you're playing music and you're in that zone, like I said, or writing and I just forget about what I'm writing, or I'm sure you've been there, you know, playing music and it's like you're kind of on cruise control or driving a car,
which
you drove like 20 miles and you were like, whoa, what the hell, where was I?
Yeah, which, you know, even like writing, it is a meditative state in a sense, you know, like you are hyper focused on whatever it is you're trying to achieve with it, you know, and you just, sometimes you're just flowing with it and you go into it and you come out the other end and you're like, okay, where did that come from?
Where do you think the first time you felt that was?
I mean, probably when I was writing poetry.
Yeah.
Back when I was younger, yeah. Because, you know, like when the first poetry I ever wrote, I showed it to my mom. She didn't believe it. She's like, you didn't write this. This is too good. I'm like, okay, yeah, I did.
Thanks, Mom.
Once then I convinced her. Yeah. And then she tells the school psychologist about it. Oh, yeah. And then they're thinking that I'm suicidal.
Oh, shoot.
I'm like, no, I just wrote a cool poem. Come on, you know, like, so that made me not show anybody my poetry for years, you know, because I was just like, okay, this is what I'm going to get if I do that, you know? So yeah, I kind of just put the brakes on showcasing things, and that's why it took me a while to get back to, you know, where I wanted to be in a band and push my art in that direction.
Do you think that like your need to express yourself through poetry is what caused you to be a singer? Is that, I mean, obviously, right? I mean,
yeah. Just it was a different form of expressing myself through the words. And then, you know, like from singing along, I was like, oh, I can kind of do this, you know,
Yeah.
and then, you know, but then I started getting into heavier stuff and
Yeah.
started screaming along, and, you know, I was like, I can do this even better, you know,
Yeah.
like, so I started, that's when I gravitated more towards, you know, the aggressive vocal style.
Yeah.
And it moved into, you know, where we went with Godmode and everything, you know.
Where'd you come up with the name Godmode?
That was, you know how it is.
Video games?
Well, that was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was an extensive search, but it came from, was it Doom? I think where you first could go into God mode. James is the one that brought it to the table.
Okay.
And it, you know, we checked around. There was nobody else that had it, and we were going with Carnival at first.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
we did one show as Carnival.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, we want to do something a little more original. I'm sure somebody's already got that name. And so then he came with that. We're just like, yeah, let's do that. And now there's a bunch of other bands with our name.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I was like, it seems like a name like people would do. Yeah. So there are other,
but there wasn't then. We are the first. And yeah. So, but yeah, because I've checked, I've actually like looked back like who all the other bands and SoundCloud rappers that are going by God mode now, and just to see who's, you know, like, has anybody been doing this longer than us? Are they going to tell us to stop using this name? And so far, we're the only ones that I have been able to find that go back to 97. So,
yeah, I don't know how all those rules work. I don't know if somebody can. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how all that works. I know that when I was playing with Kayla, we were coming up with different names, and so just name it the last name. I mean, what are the odds somebody's going to have the same name? Whatever, it's easy. Whatever. Well, as it turns out, there's a pop Mexican band.
I did see that one time looking for you guys.
And they're like popular.
Right.
But hey, they're in Mexico, man.
Right.
That doesn't count. But
they're Kalo, Mexico, you're Kalo, USA. Right.
Yeah, it was just so funny because I had a hell of a time on Spotify trying to like separate us because it was showing our album as one of theirs.
Oh, we had that going on YouTube right now. There's another God mode, and it's on our page.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we're looking into how to get them off of our page because we got people like, "Is this new?" Like, no, that's not us.
So, all right. So you put the ad in. You got you got together. You got the name. It's basically you and James, or
me, James, and Tim came into the fold, and you know, it was. Did we? No, we waited till then we found Dave Rupp. He was our first drummer.
Okay.
And then we got a room down at Rock and Roll City.
Mark Sobre up in here.
Yep. And that was like a broom closet. The step above it, you know, it was like just a small little starter room.
Yeah.
And I remember falling over shit, you know, like trying to. But nonetheless, you know, we started scratching out ideas and, you know, came with the first round of music that we put out. But none of that stuck. We wound up shit canning everything after he left, after Rupp left. And then we got Kurt in the band. And that's when we kind of revamped the sound a little bit.
Who was playing bass through all this?
That was Tim. Tim's been there the whole time.
Okay. All right.
And Tim Coleman. And once we got Kurt in, we kind of revamped Shit Can, and we were just kind of finding where we were sitting a little more, you know, and so that's where we wrote the songs that were on the EP that's out now, and everything that passes, and Uh, yeah, I mean, we started playing a lot of shows and, just trying to put it out there.
Yeah.
And we just continued to do that and
doing like the whole Peabody's thing.
Peabody's,
doing
we did a lot of shows at Pitt Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Symposium.
Pitt Cleveland. That hasn't come up too often on here, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was we did.
Speaking tongues was something that always comes up, but yeah.
Yeah. We didn't do anything when Speaking Tongues is around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we did. Pitt Cleveland. We did quite a few shows there actually. And then I mean just the basic, local haunts. But, never really kind of expanded too far out of that realm. And after 8.5 years, things started getting a little spinning the wheels type of thing. Things kind of went down the tubes from there. I don't know if I'm jumping ahead a little too much here, but
no, that's all right. I mean,
it's that's pretty much the long and short of it, I guess.
So you had a big hiatus, and now, what made you decide to come back and put some new stuff together, man? Because it sounds modern and cool. Like, I mean, it's like you guys are doing something good, I think,
Well, it was, some of the stuff, like we were talking about earlier, was, some of the stuff James had written a while ago.
Yeah.
And he started sending me stuff, like, hey, we're getting, like, people are talking about us on Reddit. And, like, we got a bunch of hits on our songs, like people because we never posted anything online.
Yeah.
We just, when the band broke up, I took a picture of some guy who blew his head off of rotten.com and put it on our page and said, Godmode is dead and there's nothing more to see here. And that was pretty much it, and then, so yeah, he's like showing me all these hits we're getting on our music. And he's like, there's all these people like there's a buzz about us. As it turns out, like we've been kind of branded new metal. And
really?
Yeah, which we just always saw ourselves as a metal band, but that's what the world has decided we are apparently. So whatever, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But with the resurgence of new metal right now, I think that has something to do with it.
Is there a resurgence of new metal?
Yeah, that's okay. There's a whole like. My daughter's like all in Deftones and Korn and
well, I know Deftones definitely had a resurgence. Yeah, they said they're more popular now than they ever have been.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
I mean, good for them,
Yeah, really. Yeah, because I guess they said they blew up on TikTok or something like. Now, I've always been a Deftones fan. I hate putting them in the new metal. NU. So what is it now? What is it? If it's not NU, if it's a resurgence of new metal, would it be like
new metal?
Like NEWNU?
I guess, yeah. Which there are new metal bands out there now too, right. That are like. Starting, like younger people starting new metal style bands. So I guess, or would it be NU? New? I don't know. I don't set the rules for all this. I just a player in the game here, but
the whole categorization of things is crazy, because it's like if you're really influential and like a bunch of people want to sound like you, that determines it's a new category, I guess. Right.
I mean, well, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, with new metal, it was like basically back when that was big, everybody, like Ross Robinson was the big kind of producer that was carving that sound out. And then it got to a point when people started hating it, and it
Right.
was like, oh, you got Ross Robinson's disease, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, which I don't know, like there's great bands that came out of it, and then there's bands that, you know, like kind of like caught the tail end of the trend. And
so I you know, we're definitely Gen X, and to me it was like, you know, all right, hip hop comes out, and you know, I'm into metal, but you know, as long as you're not an idiot, I mean, hip hop's cool, whatever, dude, I like it, you know, and there's, again, if it's a self-expression, if somebody's expressing themselves and they're doing a good job at it, I don't care if you're, you know, smacking a steak against a fucking can. You know what I mean? I don't know.
If you make it work, you make it work, right?
Right. So to me, it just seemed like a natural progression because you had like the collaborations, you know, obviously the Aerosmith and the Run DMC, you had the Public Enemy and Anthrax, you know, and you
Judgment Night soundtrack.
Yeah. Well, Judgment Night soundtrack, I think really did that.
Yeah.
You know? Then you had like Sepultura kind of, you know, doing the whole roots thing, you know. I think that was like a huge part of it, really. I think, and I think when new metal was when Korn put out Blind, or their first album, self-titled album, and it seemed so different and original, but it was like, it kind of was like Cypress Hill, you know, in a lot of ways.
It had the 808s in it.
Yeah. And it just seemed like a natural progression. It didn't seem like something completely new, but it was.
Right.
You know, and it just seemed like, oh, of course, this is what this is now, you know? And then so just getting back into the Deftones, and the Deftones kind of were like lumped into that, but I think the Deftones really I think then they kind of did the whole emo thing, you know. I think,
like shoegaze type of,
yeah.
Which, yeah, and I think a lot of people like to kind of call them more alternative metal than new metal now. You know, like
right.
Their first two, I think, were probably more on the new metal side, and then they kind of diverged from there.
Yeah, I can listen. I've said for years, I can listen to Deftones at any time. I can always put them on and listen to them. I think they're great. Yeah. And especially their newer albums, like they're one of those bands that get better with time.
Yeah. There's no stinkers, you know, like it's.
Yeah. So, okay. So with this whole resurgence of new metal, so this is kind of like breathing new life into you guys, or you guys were going to do it anyway, or what?
No, well, I mean, it wasn't on my radar, and James kind of brought it to my attention, and then we were just kind of going back and forth, and then I started digging. I'm like, oh, check this out. You know, people are saying this, people are saying that. You know, look at our numbers on Spotify. You know, like that's, you know, it's still going up. You know, like, and it's just. So he started talking to me. He's like, hey, you know, I got some songs. Do you want to start working on some stuff? We'll just do like a studio project, no pressure. And I was like, you know, that'd be kind of cool, you know, like as a kind of a thank you for all these people. Cause I mean, there's like the lyrics pages all have our, you know, like lyrics.com and all that have our lyrics all up on it. There's somebody who did a cover cheap, you know, like all these things. You know, it's like, well, we could put this up as, you know, some new music up as a thank you for the people who've kept us alive on the internet, because God knows we did a horrible job at it, you know, like, so we figure, you know, we'll put out a few songs and just kind of, you know, see where it goes. And maybe we'll, you know, we'll probably more than likely keep writing and just putting it out. And, you know, I'll say never as far as a live situation's concerned, but it's not on the radar as of now.
So in the hiatus, were you still creative in some way? Were you expressing yourself in some kind of artistic, creative way, or are you just kind of?
Yeah, I was, you know, like I said, I fart around on bass and keys, and you know, I was writing electronica type stuff, and
Okay.
which I think kind of like helped me become a better writer overall, because then I
Like
was
composition.
like writing compositions
Yeah.
myself and writing. I was messing around, kind of like the stuff I write, like it incorporates electronic, but then it's got like elements of like Tom Waits and weird stuff,
I was
like,
just playing Tom Waits when you
yeah.
walked in. Yeah,
And so it's like it's not really like, it's not like a normal mainstream type of
Yeah.
vibe, but it's also nothing I've ever released. It was just like stuff I'd work on my own when I had
Right.
time.
No, and I know from personal experience, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I could do this and whatever. I mean, I'm playing a multiple different things, now, but nothing that I can call my own, but I do my own
Right.
thing. It's just nobody hears it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what do we have to look forward to with this? You plan on finishing our recording and just
Right now we're working, we're actually, because when we went in the studio within everything that passes, we went to a studio that was like, it was Closer Look Recordings, and it's like a world-class studio with world-class rates, and we were on
hey, you're made of money.
champagne taste on a beer budget. So there was things that we cringe about when we listen back to the new stuff, or the old stuff, I'm sorry.
Right.
And it's been that way. There's parts where I was out of key, or where just things just didn't sit right, or it was too high in the mix or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was, we track things, and then it turned into, we're out of money, we got to mix this, and we're going to get what we get, I guess,
Right.
Which if we would have went to a cheaper studio, we would have had a little more time to sit with it and get it probably where we wanted it a little better.
Yeah.
So that being all said, we've kind of reimagined and re-recorded some of the all of the original CD.
Oh, okay.
But we're keeping.
And where are you recording this at?
We're doing it. We have our own studio set.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
I
thought for some reason I thought you said you went to a.
No.
Okay.
No
studio. Okay.
So yeah, musically it's gonna be updated. The vocals are going to be the same, but once we pulled in the tracks from the masters, there's some vocal tracks, some takes that weren't used, that we're kind of incorporating some of that into it, and just kind of remixing, cleaning things up and stuff like that. So it's going to have, a fresher vibe to it and stuff. So that's going to come out first.
Okay.
We're releasing each of those. They'll just kind of, as they get completed, we'll release each song.
Okay.
And in the meantime, he's kind of working on that, and I'm working on the vocals for the new stuff.
Okay.
Stay Here is going to be the first song that we release, and that's what I'm working on now. So
nice.
We have a setup with Studio One where we can converge online. Studio
One is I'm not familiar.
It's who owns it? Fender owns it now.
Okay, so it's like a online kind of.
It was PreSonus originally, but so we have, the same setup at each of our places.
Right.
And then it's just like an online cloud situation. So I can record something, bounce it over to him.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, so that way we don't always have to like meet up and swap the files,
Yeah, well, everyone's so busy these days. It's so hard to get like together. I mean, I know we were planning this for what, 2-3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, why you can't just do hey, how about tomorrow?
Right. I mean, I still had have my daughter, and like takes up a lot of time, and it's like got to do family things. You got to balance life, and can't just go all in on the band like the old days.
Yeah, when we were like 20, it's like I remember spending like 8 to 10 hours a day at the practice spot, like probably 3-4 days a week. That is impossible now. There's no way.
Right. Yeah, it's just not even just like family obligations. I'm just getting too old for this shit, man. I gotta take a nap. There better be a couch at that practice room, you know.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah. I think this was great. I think I'm really looking forward to God Mode. If you can get that whole thing worked out with all these other bands named God Mode now.
Yeah, right. You know, we just got to sort it out. Send out the cease and desist letters.
Yeah.
You know, like with the fake attorney, because
you can just do like God Mode and then put like a little squared at the end.
Well, we do have most of our social media is God Mode CLE.
Oh,
so,
there you go. Oh,
yeah,
I like that CLE thing.
Yeah, see how that works out. That's if anybody wants to look us up on social media. That's
okay.
If it's there's only a couple that we actually got the God Mode before somebody else did.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's any social media that except for Facebook at this moment is God Mode CLE.
So what's your MySpace?
Oh, MySpace? There is I'm sure there's still one there. There's a God Mode and a Nico one at one point.
I bet you there's. I think I still have a MySpace. I don't even know if I know how to get into it or not.
I looked up mine years ago.
Like. Yeah.
Those things, because they've been bought and sold so many times. I think, didn't Justin Timberlake buy it at one point?
I don't know. Yeah,
I heard something about that. And then I went on there and like, all my blog posts were gone and my pictures are all jacked up. And I had like, 5 friends. And of course, one of them was Tom, like
Tom, of course.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
We should probably do a well check on him,
That was cool. I did like MySpace, and I got on there because you're trying to promote your band and everything. And I think it was really good for that. Honestly, I think like the amount of shows we played after MySpace came out went up exponentially for sure. It's like you don't have to know somebody that knows somebody and you call somebody, you know what I mean? You can just like shoot, hey, or somebody's like, hey, we're looking for an opening act or whatever. I mean, it works out really well, and I think a lot of people like went to Facebook and everything from there. But I remember the last time I went on to MySpace, God, I want to say it was 10 years ago. I don't even know. I'm going to try to do that now, actually.
It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I haven't done it for a hot minute myself, but the last time I checked, it was like a bunch of ads. It was very stripped down. Yeah.
It was like as soon as I signed in, it was like a bunch of weird ads and everything. Right. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And because you used to be able to totally tweak it to your own setting. You could put your own music.
That was what I liked about it. I was kind of pissed that Facebook kind of came into play because I was like, I like this better. It's customizable. You can make it fit your band's vibe and everything, and then
Facebook all looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder. They're just trying to get us all to fall in line, I think, maybe.
Just wear the uniform. just put the uniform on. Bend the knee.
Yeah, it's not too far out, man. All right, well, I think that's a good place to. Hey, we're gonna end this like MySpace. No, I don't know. That would mean it goes on forever. I don't know. Is MySpace still there? I don't even know. Yeah. But Pat, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude, it was really nice seeing you. It's been a long time. I don't even know how long it's been.
Yeah,
it has to be more than a decade. I think
at least. Yeah. Like I said, I lost a lot of numbers when I went from Android to iPhone and broke my iPhone. All the Android stuff went out. So anybody watching that knows me, you got my number. Call me. Give me a text. Just don't send me any pictures. You know what kind I'm talking about.
Or maybe send them. You can send me those pictures.
Depending on who it is, if you're a hot man.
All right, man. Sub CLE, we're out. Okay, well, here we are. We're still here. Actually, some time has passed. I was supposed to get this thing edited, and we were talking, and it was like, man, there was maybe some stuff we didn't touch on last time. So here we are again, and probably 3 or 4 weeks have passed at this point. So if I look tanner or fatter, I don't know, or thinner. Do I look more handsome? I don't know.
You look buff, man. Look at buff.
Been working out. So we're just gonna kind of keep talking, but I don't remember how God Mode ended. Like what was the final parts of God Mode? What preceded the big hiatus?
All right, we're gonna try and rub these two brain cells together.
Yes.
Here.
Okay.
All right. So, we were playing out. I think that was all covered the last time.
Yeah.
We got to a point after we recorded and everything that passes. We went back in the studio to record Exploding Head Syndrome. That was going to be our next EP.
Okay.
And in that, we, things just kind of, we were already 8.5 years into it.
Right.
And,
and that's like a year and a half longer than the Beatles were together for their whole career.
Look at how much more they accomplished. I don't know. Maybe I'm working the right job for a reason,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we were working on those songs. We have 4 songs, that we had written. We got, I think, 3 recorded.
Yeah.
And we Tim was the one that was just like, I'm kind of done, he was in the middle of tracking his bass lines, and he was just like, I think I'm done.
Really?
Yeah. And we were just like, okay,
I wonder what that is.
It just
I wonder what that is, because I guess you always kind of hope, hey, maybe I can make a living out of this, but I never anticipated. Maybe that's why I never did. I didn't wish it into reality, but
right.
I just, it was always a release for me. It was always just meditation, or something that I just felt like I had to do. So I'm done with this. It's well, I'm done breathing.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I felt. I mean, it was that was hard on me. And it was between that. Well, me and James, we did Nico right after that.
Yeah.
And then that fell apart. And for me personally, that was hard on me. It was like a breakup, like a relationship breakup.
Right.
And, bands are always equated to relationships and everything.
Absolutely. I always said it's like being married to multiple people at the same time all together.
Right. It is truly.
Yeah, and it's hard enough to get along with one person, right? So.
But it's not even the getting along, it's the missing it,
Sure.
It's looking back on things and being or just, like you said, breathing, it's 8.5 years. Well, after Nico was, we're looking at 9.5 years of just being in
2.5 years longer than the Beatles' career.
Yeah. But that was 2 bands. So, 2 bands and we still couldn't do it. But yeah, it was just that shit really threw me for a loop, I had a real down point personally when that fell apart.
Yeah.
And it's like you have a part of you that isn't functioning in the way it used to anymore,
Yeah.
And I still worked on stuff. There was a couple people that wanted me to jump in and jam with them and stuff, and I farted around, but I was just like, just couldn't get back into it. And, then I just kind of partied and did my thing for a while, but yeah, I mean, that was kind of the long and short of how that played out. We still got those recordings. They're kind of lost in my public storage right now.
Okay.
And I've already dug it out once, so I'm not doing it again. Not
public storage was that's like a rental storage unit or
like
something?
a shed kind of.
Okay, yeah.
So I got some crap in there, and I dug it all out, and I cannot find the masters to save my life.
Yeah.
I hope they're not getting destroyed in there, but
yeah.
But we're working on new stuff right now.
I mean, is it digital somewhere or no? I mean,
it is, but it's all on disc. It's all like Cakewalk Sonar, which I have an old copy of that. I'm going to have to pull that up and pull the stems out of it. And it's gonna
I was going to say they're WAV files, so you should be able to use them in anything.
Yeah. So, but, it's a matter of finding them. That's the big trick. So, but yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the long and short of where things ended with that. Yeah. And, then where things are kind of picking back up now, people put our stuff online. We never did.
No.
No. We had our website, and when that went down, after Godmode was done, we just kind of left it at that, and people found our shit and started putting it online, and it went around, and next thing I know, James is telling me we got people following us, and there's Reddit subreddits and all this stuff. So he was like, let's kind of, just jam some stuff out and put some stuff back together. He's like, I got some stuff written. We can pull out that old stuff if I ever find it, and rework it and see where it goes from there.
What? I'm curious. When did Dave Kalo start playing with you? Was it the Nico stuff?
No, Dave was he was our last drummer in Godmode.
Okay.
So we had Dave Rupp, who has since passed.
Yeah.
Then we had Kurt Laughlin. He was the one on the CD. And
I hope we didn't talk about this already, but.
Hey, yeah. Sorry, folks. if we did, but anyway, yeah. So Kurt Laughlin, and he was the drummer on the CD and everything that passes. Okay. Before that was done mixing, he left the band. Okay. And then Dave joined in. Okay. So he was actually in the studio, and he was kind of like helping with mixing the drums a little bit. So we were like, throw a little producing credit on there for Dave. Okay, so he's actually credited as producing it.
Yeah, Dave has some accolades.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, he came in to that, and his drums are on the Exploding Heads Syndrome stuff. Okay. That's yet to be released. So. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So hopefully I find that, and we'll get that going. That's miles away right now, though. Yeah. So we're looking towards doing this whole the 4 songs that we have right now, possibly 5. I don't know, but we're hemming and hawing over one of them.
So would you say that like you're have you evolved sonically or stylistically in any way? And what would you what are your influences? What would you say your influences would be? I mean, I know, that's always hard, but like for this stuff that is yet released, I don't know, what are you listening to? What do you, what gets you going? I mean, because obviously what you listen to influences what you want to create too,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I listen to everything across the board, you know, like, I've been actually, I'm looking at it right now, the Axioma, I've been listening to that a lot lately.
They got a new one coming out.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, I guess they were just recording with Noah over at Mercenary Studios.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So, yeah, they got new stuff coming out.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Like it's just, I was listen to new Deftones. I've been like visiting a lot of like old hardcore
Yeah.
stuff that I didn't really maybe listen to as much back in the
Mm-hmm.
day, that I'm kind of like, because I'm not finding stuff that I'm into as much now on the
Yeah.
heavier side of things. So I'm revisiting older stuff,
Yeah.
that I didn't give enough time to back
Right.
in the day when
Like
it
what?
was. I've been revisiting Propane,
Oh, okay.
Cro-Mags.
Okay.
You asked me questions and I brain fart.
Yeah, I know.
like-
So, I was not Propane. Okay, I was gonna say wasn't that porn star guy, but I think it's Biohazard. He's like a porn star, right?
Is he a porn star?
I don't know. I thought so. I don't know.
That's the first I'm hearing, but maybe you know something I don't know.
Well, I saw
definitely-
something. No, and he's like kind of ripped, and
I think
I guess he went into the porn star thing, and just dude, I don't know. I don't know much about it, honestly, but I think he did.
I've seen plenty of porns though. You don't have to be ripped to be in porn, man.
Actually, I like the porn where it's like more of just the normal guy, because then I can like relate to it a little bit more.
You'd be like, yeah, that's me. Yeah. You can get into it. It's not like the chiseled guy where it's like,
Right.
not
I'm like,
me.
this is unrealistic. What's
Right.
going on? We're going to talk about what kind of porn we like at this point. No. So influences. You say Deftones. I mean, that's one of the bands. I mean, I might piss off a lot of people and make a lot of people happy at this point, but I can always listen to the Deftones. I think they're beautiful to listen to, and it's heavy. It's like sexy hardcore. I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying hardcore, but sexy kind of. What are they? I just learned the term recently, shoegazer.
yeah, shoegaze.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get classified in that a lot.
Yeah.
I was watching this this podcast, Dickie Dines. I don't know if you ever watch that. And he was saying, I don't want some guy eating chocolate in my ear all the time. I was just like,
I don't know, what does that mean?
Just like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
At least
I
that's
saw
how I
somebody-
picture it. I was just
Maybe
like,
it was that guy, because somebody was like, he's always making these sounds. Yeah, it's like my buddy Jim, fucker. It's like every time he eats something, it's like he's making love to it, and it's like, I'm like, dude, this is so gross right now. He's like,
It's just like,
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
do you remember that commercial for the eating disorders?
No.
Where it was just like anorexia, and it was like, I don't even know what they did for anorexia, but it was like bulimia, and it was like a door shut, and the lady's like, bleh! And then it was like, I don't know, overeating, I guess they call it. And it is this lady like eating a fucking cupcake, and she's just like, It's just like, what the fuck, man?
Well,
Like,
that's Jim. I mean, it's gross. I'm like, what is going on here, dude?
you got to get some ASMR going for that, man.
So, but
Make some money.
But the thing is, who am I to judge? I mean, he's really feeling that, just like Chino is really feeling
those words, yeah. Got that gain up real high, so you can hear every little smack.
All right, so yeah, I don't know. I like Deftones, whatever. I don't care.
No, I dig them. I've always done them. Like it's just the element of heavy and melody. It's a good mix. And I mean, going back to what we're doing, there's a lot of elements that we've had. I would like to think a lot more refined now.
Yeah.
There wasn't an evolution ever heard in recording for us because, well, we blew our wad in that one recording.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
You mean wad like money or just ideas?
Money.
Okay.
It was a great studio. Closer Looks, like a world-class studio.
Yeah.
I was actually interning there at the time.
Well, where is this at?
It's over on Superior. God, so many years ago. I want to say
They still in business?
40th and Superior. I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah. But
who was the producer?
he was the mix engineer. Is Tyler Owen. He's the owner.
Okay.
And like I said, I was interning there at the time, and I was through this program where it's like they give you all the workbooks and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then you go and they get you into a studio and you intern in there, and then you get to make your own recording, even if it's just one song thing at the end of the whole thing. Yeah. So I booked my band there, thinking like, cool, I'm in this badass studio, you know, we're gonna get a great recording. And he's like, okay, this is your project. I'm like, wait, no, like I don't want to fucking, I want you doing this, like, come on, man. And I mean, he did take the reins on a lot of this stuff, but it was still like, it wasn't even that. It was that we ran out of money,
right?
Because we shot high, but we didn't have the money to keep going in there. So we had to kind of cut corners at the end and didn't really get the product we wanted. Yeah, it was all through great equipment, but like the mix is off in spots, and in our opinion, at least, so that's where we're kind of reworking it now, just to kind of give it the treatment that we would have given it if we had the money to keep going in the studio.
Right.
So, and then back to new stuff, that's like since that recording there's no documented evolution of where we've gone with things. So like now it's definitely, there's a melodic heavy off time at moments vibe to it.
Okay.
It's, I don't know, it's all over the place.
Yeah. So,
which, again, harkens back to older elements, but in my opinion, at least, I feel like it's a lot more refined in the writing and approach to it. So, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we were talking earlier about, how some musicians make music, and I think when you're, when you're playing an instrument or something, it's like you make a song and you don't have lyrics in mind for it. And so it's like it seems like you're racing from part to part and just basically working it dynamically in a different way. Like, because instrumentals are different, there's no room for vocals in an instrumental, because it's just moving so much. And I think when, you're young kids just, playing, whatever, I know that was with me, just playing, and it's like, all right, now we got to put words over this because that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And it's like, whoa, how, and it's like slowly we learn that, hey, maybe we should play this part like maybe 4 times as long as we think we should.
Right.
Just to give it some room to breathe. Yeah. Right. So is that something maybe you kind of guys evolved with? I don't know.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, it's just, there's more of a formula to it. Yeah. And there's a trimming of fat, but there's also, that room to breathe more. Yeah. Within the context of everything. There's a lot of change up in some of the songs. A couple of them are a little more formulaic. But then I would say there's 2 heavier ones, and there's 2 that are kind of, more middle of the road, exploring some melody a little more. Okay. So, which is cool. I think we both kind of discussed, it's not really official, but we've decided we're going to take some elements of like Nico stuff in with the Godmode stuff, so there's going to be a little more melody at points, but it's still going to it's still going to rip intense at well, and I think I remember from last conversation, we're kind of like, it's like a new metal kind of thing, I mean, that's not what we're going for. It's kind of what we fell into. which I'm not complaining about. Like it's cool. Like people dig it.
Yeah, I think with the whole, I'm sorry, with the new metal thing, it's like a lot of people shit on it. I think I just saw like Dave Mustaine say some. Well, let me tell you something. It was shocking. Dave Mustaine was like shitting on something.
No way. Not Dave.
Yeah, it was something he wasn't involved with.
Oh.
No, but I think the new metal thing was cool because I liked hip hop. I mean, obviously, I'm traditional too. I love just thrash, and I guess we could have got caught up, labeled as that, but like you're just adding like. You could argue that like Pantera was new metal because they added groove to the metal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just people kind of saw that, whoa, that's what you can do. And then like hip hop kind of got popular and people kind of added like hip hop elements to it, which I think is a natural progression.
Mm-hmm.
Like
from the groove.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at people that are against that as like, okay, well then I guess they would agree with being Amish. Because we only agree to have technology up until a certain point, and then no.
Right. Can't go past that now.
And that's the way I look at it. But I do understand. I mean, I love all styles. Like people that hate new metal that make music, they make really good music. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But I just think it's a little silly. I don't know. Am I?
No, and I think there was a lot of great stuff that came out of new metal. Like there was a lot of bands that did it well, but yet there was a lot of bands that were copycat bands too.
Right.
So I think that's partially where that kind of got whitewashed a little bit to where it was like, what it got watered down and then just turned into a bad word, I guess, after a while.
Sure.
But that's where, we've never had like rap or turntables or anything in our stuff.
Right.
So it's like, that's where we were kind of like, we thought it was odd that we were put
Right.
into that mix,
Well,
but at the same time, again, like I said, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
We don't have an issue. James is cool with it too. And I imagine everybody else is because, people are at least paying attention.
Yeah.
You gotta take that where you can get it.
Yeah, I think labels are weird, because, I was just talking to, I don't know, we may have even talked about this, but the whole grunge thing in the 90s, like, everyone's like, ooh, it's grunge rock. And I'm like, it's like 70s rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not
that they gave a label because people.
It's like just because
flannels.
somebody's doing it 20 years later,
right?
We got to call it something else. It's the same thing. I mean, what really is the difference between like, I don't know. I mean, obviously things evolve, but I was going to say like Aerosmith and Pearl Jam, but I mean, obviously there's a difference, but I mean, not so much.
No, I mean, the bare bones are all still there. It's still, it's still a rock band at the end of the day.
Yeah, right.
It's grunge rock.
I don't know. I mean, but you can argue, well, they added different elements of this and maybe there's some more, whatever, but I don't know, dude. There's bands in the 70s that were doing very similar things. Very similar.
Right.
And it's just different. And I feel that way with like Slipknot. Like when I heard them, I don't see them as new metal, but they're classified as new metal. To me, they're thrash metal. They're just not like reinventing the wheel at all. They're just kind of like doing what like Eric Clapton did to blues.
Yeah.
They're doing that to thrash metal, just kind of
giving it their own refined sound to it. And...
Yeah. But it's not like they're not reinventing the wheel. Yeah.
Right.
It's like the epitome of thrash metal to me. I don't know, with groove.
Yeah,
And obviously
heavier on the groove.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And masks.
Well, us older guys, we got to get up there with masks.
That's what I was thinking, man. Like that's the move, right?
Yeah.
Just hide all the sag with a good mask, and you're good to go.
I saw Priest over at the Mercury Music Lounge, and Priest, not Judas Priest, but Priest. I guess they're like the ex-members of Ghost.
Okay.
And it's almost like a Depeche Mode kind of sadomasochistic thing. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. If you haven't heard it, it's actually really cool. But I saw those guys. And even afterwards, they were hanging out and they still wore these masks. They were wearing like these like gimp masks, like the leather studded, and everything, And I think it's because they were just older guys.
They want to be
what they're doing.
Perceived as young.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right. I mean,
this chick will never take me with my mask off. I'm going to keep it on.
I don't know if it's that or just, selling their product,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen an interview with Skinny from Mushroom Head a while back on a podcast, and he had like some kind of helmet thing on. I was surprised. I figured like people got to know who he is after all these years, but they still keep the affront up, as far as that's concerned. So I guess when you get into the whole mask thing, you got to stay committed to it.
Well, and you could have people that aren't you playing.
Yeah. Yeah, just like Gallagher, having his brother go out touring for him, smashing watermelons. Yeah, he has a twin.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of, I guess, a different animal of a different shade there.
Sure.
But,
no, but I guess that's what Mushroom Head does. It's like none of the original members playing live, including Skinny.
Oh, really?
According to AI.
That's what AI is telling you.
According to AI, he's involved in the recordings and the writing and everything, but somebody else is their touring drummer.
Huh.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of a mask.
Yeah. I mean, it can go a long way, man.
I mean, Kiss, they can run Kiss forever. Just have different guys wearing that makeup,
I'm sure they're doing that. It would not surprise me one bit.
I mean, Slipknot can go on forever. Mushroom Head could literally go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're doing it right now. I mean, they're popular, and it's none of the original. I don't know this for sure. Somebody correct me in the comments, or hey, if you want to come on here and talk about it, if you're in the band by any chance.
There you go.
Yeah. But I think that's great. I don't know. I think that's a cool thing, because they build something, and why should it stop? Because everyone dies.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Keep that legacy going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than going out there with crutches in a wheelchair,
Yeah, true.
You see some of these, like I believe it was Rod Stewart I just heard was like having some breathing problems or something crazy just recently. And it's like, I don't know. At some point, you got to pack it up and just like go enjoy the rest of your life, like still play, like do your thing.
Right.
But I mean, when I start sounding like Mickey Mouse when I'm singing, I'm done, man. I'm not doing it, man. I'm sorry. I want to walk away with some dignity, like I'm not.
Are we talking about Vince Neil here?
It's kind of going more the Axl Rose route.
Oh, Axl Rose.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I heard some stuff when he did the AC/DC thing, and I thought it sounded really good.
And that from what I've seen, people have kind of like come to his defense on some of those videos, because the videos I've seen, he did sound like Mickey Mouse.
Right.
But they were saying like he was having an off night, which can happen. You start getting up there, you have off nights,
Even when you're down there, you get off nights.
Right. So, like, I mean, that could very well be the case. And then, I mean, people are still coming in droves to their concerts. So it's either a very heavy nostalgia or, they're doing something right there,
Yeah, I remember I went to go see that Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett over at the Cleveland Browns Stadium or whatever. And I thought everyone sounded great. Now, I don't know if they were using tracks or not. I thought Vince Neil sounded good. I see these videos all the time. I was far away.
Was this recent?
It was a few years ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago. It was their like final tour, whatever.
Because I've heard the internet saying, that he is using backing tracks now.
Right. And
because him and the band got tired of getting ripped apart in the videos. Everybody's got a damn cell phone these days shooting videos,
I know I kind of let myself go a little bit here, but I would think if I was in that situation, that's your job.
Yeah. Well,
you're not doing your job.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get to a point, if you can't perform the job anymore, quit doing the job.
Right.
At least quit charging money like that for the job.
If people want to pay for that,
I guess. Full money's, but
I don't know.
Me personally, I would rather leave behind, if we recorded these next 4 songs and that's all we ever did and it sounded great and then I couldn't do it anymore, I would be fine with that, because at least.
I mean, dude, you're not 75 years old.
I know. I'm just saying, like you never know when you're just gonna shoot out a fucking tonsil out of your throat or something while you're trying to sing and it's just hanging there from your chin.
You're looking pretty good. You're aging well. I think you're doing all right. You got some time left in you, man.
Trying to hold it together here real hard. I don't know. Where are we at with this?
I just think that there's people like Tom Waits, and it's like he kind of just like grew into himself. I mean, what's the guy, like 70-some years old now?
Yeah.
And it's like he just seems like he's more himself now.
But he's just like got that voice that was like built to age,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he always sounded like he just gargled whiskey and rocks, like not on the rocks, actual rocks.
Right.
And as he aged, that gruff just made it that much better.
I think, that's what I'm saying. He was always just, he was always. Grizzled man, and it's like when he was younger, it was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, he's a great, and he was selling it good. But now that he's his age, man, it's like 100%. Like he just like grew into it like really well.
Definitely aged like fine wine.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And there's some people that do that. I think Sammy Hagar is good. I don't know how long he's going to be able to do what he does, though, because, he's it's rocking. It's rocking stuff. I mean, David Lee Roth, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like he was a god amongst men at one time, like he was the shit,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta know when to say when, man. It's like drinking and driving.
Yeah. Yeah, because that high energy rock and roll stuff, that is a young man's game, I mean, but I don't know. I see some of these older thrash metal guys. Like, dude, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, whatever. But I see, it's like, wow, these guys are looking old, but they're still kind of killing it, Yeah. And it seems like it's like nowadays, it's like to play that kind of thrash metal or whatever, it's like. You have to be old.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Again,
it goes back to that kind of grizzled thing,
Yeah,
Like, that age kind of becomes part of the charm of what you're doing. As far as, like, I know I found just my voice has changed over the years, but I'm finding new voices where I'm trying to do the old voice and it's not quite working the way it used to. So I'm like, oh, let me try this. And I found some like more intense screams and stuff like that, just out of necessity, like, so I've done it and I laid it down and I listened back and I'm like, okay, it's not gone yet. Like, there was a point where I was like, I would text James and be like, dude, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like, it's just been too long, like, and, like, I had to start screaming. I would always be like, I'm not going to be some asshole screaming in my car. And it's like, I kind of am in a living situation where I have no choice. So I'm that asshole screaming in my car now sometimes,
Well, I always was. I always had. Well, I always made it a point, like, I was just talking with Steve Schlatti. I just saw him over at Negative Space and Scott from Odious Sanction. Like, I always thought he just sounded like an angry guy. Not like he's not putting on a voice. He's not like trying to sing whatever. He's just a very angry man.
Right.
Letting you know how he feels, And I always approached vocals like that too. And it was just like, I just want to be able to open up my voice and my throat and feel it through my chest, my diaphragm, just pushing up. I never, it's like, you can sing in different places. You sing in your head, your throat, or your, I always wanted to like belt it, you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like Scott from Odious Sanction does that really well. I think Noah from Solipsist, Nunslaughter or whatever, I think he does that really well. There's just this guttural.
Yeah.
Even though Noah sounds like Satan, no doubt, but
that's metal, man.
But it is metal. And but it's just, but I always just like the angry guy. I don't want you to sound like a bear or like, you're putting on this weird, it's like an angry bear.
I don't think I've ever listened to any kind of music and went, that guy sounds just like a bear.
Oh, it's like that, ooh, all that like real low, like Chris Barnes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or,
Still don't know if I'd classify that as bear, but
it's like an angry bear. Some kind of, or some otherworldly being, demon or something.
There are some voices that are like
that Fry vocal, they talk about with the death metal and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but I want to hear fucking some dude telling me some shit. He's fucking pissed.
Right.
I mean, not so much anymore. I was pissed when I was younger, now I'm like, I don't know. Can't we just look at the good in life, But I'm still trying to make heavy music, so.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
It's like I got to like sabotage my life in some way, so I'm angry.
Yeah, right. So you got something to sing about, It's just too good.
Well, that's why I've always chose politics, because it's so easy to get angry at the establishment and the powers that be, the greedy powers that be, and so I've always hung into that realm, and people that say, oh, I'm not a popular musician, so I can do whatever I want. But, people that say like musicians should stay away from politics. It's like, well, you're just telling them basically they don't have a First Amendment right.
Right. I mean, and that's one thing to vent and say something. It's another thing when you're just like preachy all the time about it. That's where I think people kind of get tired.
So like multi-billionaires that own media corporations are basically doing that all the time. They're doing it all the time, and they're allowed. So like somebody that like the movie Citizen Kane. I mean, or anybody that owns like a newspaper or a corporate a corporate news agency. It's like, why are they allowed to express their opinion all the time, but an actor that came from nothing, a corporate news agency that's like backed by like big oil, big money, big pharmacy, all that stuff, they're allowed to blanket everything and propagate everything with their with what they want to say politically. Yeah, it is propaganda.
Yeah.
And they're allowed to do that. But some guy that comes from nothing that says, hey, maybe that shit's not right. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Shut up and fucking dribble, or shut up and act, or you know what I mean? It's like, dude, what? Why is this guy allowed to do it? Well, because he's got a lot of money. And he says it's news.
My distinction is, I'll say a classic example, at least right now in this day and age, is Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
I feel like every like magazine has him, I flip around through a lot of online magazines, music magazines and stuff, and he's always in there. He's got something about Trump this, Trump that, Trump the other.
Right.
And it's like, he's clearly gotten a PR team that said, you're going to be the guy that hates Trump, and we're going to put it out there so we can constantly keep you, because you're getting less and less relevant. So, I mean, people still love him. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like he's winding it down, in his career. So like, let's keep a reason to keep you in the headlines.
So you think he's doing that not because he believes in it? But
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he believes it, but I'm saying it's hyperbolic, and it's always, it's constant, and he's always saying something about it. It's not just. So why would you? Why is that okay? And like, why is that not okay? I guess it's when you make your whole existence about it. Me personally, I'm not saying that that's for everybody. I'm just saying where it kind of starts to grind my gears a little bit, I guess.
Do you think that about Rupert Murdoch?
Oh, I think he's a globalist piece of shit, but like, that's a whole other story in itself,
Well, but it's kind of the same thing, because Rupert Murdoch like made a lot of money, got a bunch of news agencies, and now he's just like constantly flooding everything with his point of view and his politics.
Right.
He's making a lot of money off of it, right? He doesn't
have a right to say it,
and he just
I'm just saying I have a right to be annoyed by it. I have a right to, to just constantly hear that same crap all the time. Like I get it. You don't like Trump.
I get it.
Like he's got a lot of things to hate about him, but come on, like, talk about something else. Get in the headlines for something other than that. Like,
I guess, well, that's what's going to get you in the headlines, I'm sure he does a lot of other things, but every time you hear about it, it's just that.
Before that, the last thing I heard about with him was a DUI, so maybe some more of those are more interesting anyway.
Nobody wants to hear about his concert that went really well, and
and sold out. And,
and he brought this person up on stage, and they shared a moment or whatever. Nobody cares about that, I guess. But I see what you're saying, and I agree too. Like, if somebody's like going hard at something all the time, it's annoying. But sometimes it's like, like. Well, you could say that about Rage Against the Machine. I mean, that was their whole thing was.
I do.
But that's their thing, punk rock.
No, I know that. And that's the whole thing. Like, that's their thing. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, Tom Morello's like kind of joined at the hip with Bruce Springsteen right now.
Is he?
Yeah, they've been doing all kinds of stuff together.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, he's got his own set of politics with socialism and all that, which that's not my thing. I don't really want to see that in our country, but like. So,
okay. Because I'm curious about this, because I try to learn like about, here we are going into politics, socialism.
I try to
but
dance around this, but
well, just real quick, but socialism is like, what is that?
what is socialism?
Yeah.
Like, you want me to like give you some
Well,
dictionary
what do you feel? Like
definition?
Okay, let's make it easier. What is it about socialism that you don't like?
Or just that it ends in tyranny and death of millions of people.
I mean, there's a lot of things that go between that. You don't think capitalism ends with tyranny?
It's always ended that way. It's never worked.
Well, you could say that about capitalism.
Well, I'm not saying capitalism is working. I'm just saying that it at least hasn't historically ended in murders of millions of people.
Well, it has.
Well, okay. Nuances. It has, but I guess I'm looking at it from a perspective of those governing us.
Yeah.
Aren't doing that to us. Yes, well, we go and drop a bunch of democracy on brown people all the time and take their, their resources. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But as far as historically, at least in my lifetime and basically the lifetime of this country, we haven't used that against their own people. Well, we are now.
I was going to say, you could argue that because, I mean, the elite, and when you say that to like right wingers, they think it's the left wing elite. There's an elite, and there's no differentiation between left and right with the elite. They're just the elite. We have an elitist president right now. Obviously, his grandfather goes back to the Rothschilds and everything and whatever. So. And Biden's no better, and Obama was no better, and Clinton's no better, and Bush was no better, and you know what I mean. But I guess when they tie us up with talking about like capitalism versus socialism or communism or whatever, usually it's socialism because it's a non-thing. You know what I mean? Where government should be set up to where everyone's equal. We all agree with that, right? Mm-hmm. Well, in capitalism, that's definitely not the case. Right. Socialism on paper says that's true, but whoever is in power is just a capitalist saying they're a socialist.
Right.
And, you got somebody like Pol Pot, like, what was it? He was backed by the U.S., I believe. I don't remember this.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Not sure, but
it's been a while, but
killed a lot of people.
He killed a lot of people in the city, and he wanted them to all become. He wanted to create a utopia. This is what they say. I don't know. I haven't studied that much. There's some things I have, and I can say I kind of know a little bit. Don't know that much about this, but definitely had an idea to make everything good. And it's like you almost have to kill off all the people with the bad mentality. Yeah. So he had to like kill off all the people that were living in the cities and make more of like a simple like lifestyle, whatever, I guess, whatever. So not a good thing. I agree.
Yeah. 100%.
I think there's a way that you can blend capitalism and socialism together and it will work. It's just the thing is the capitalists own all the media and everything. So they're constantly telling us capitalism, socialism's bad. Because any country that uses their resource to pay for the well-being of their own people, we overthrow.
Right.
So does the U.S. use our natural resources to benefit the people of the country?
You're asking if we do currently?
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. I honestly, everything is so shook up anymore. It's
Trump
hard
recently.
to tell. I don't really feel like we do.
Trump recently said nobody can buy a house right now. A younger generation can't buy houses. I don't know if you ever tried to buy a house. Currently, I own a home, but I was lucky enough. I'm old enough to do that. They want a bipartisan bill passed to lower housing costs. And Trump goes, I don't want to lower it. I want to raise it. Well, because he's making a lot of money off of housing.
Yeah, and they want this to be a subscription society.
Yeah,
you know, the whole World Economic Forum slogan, "You'll own nothing and be happy." I mean, that's something they're pushing towards. Everything on subscription, everything rental. That's why BlackRock's been buying up all these houses and just leaving them sit. Or
Kroger bought Giant Eagle. Kroger's a BlackRock thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're just buying up everything, and then, you know, like, we're getting less and less choices.
So then capitalism turns to dictatorship.
Right. Well, actually, it turns into fascism.
Yeah.
Because it's the definition of fascism. Yeah. People get it confused thinking that it's Nazi skinheads. And it's really more when government and big business come together and rule with an iron fist.
So, and capitalism isn't new. We're not the first country to ever start capitalism. Never ends good.
But neither does socialism because of, like you said, capitalists coming in.
Yeah.
Because that's the big deception of socialism. Socialism, there's good ideas behind it.
Yeah.
But there's always a capitalist hiding behind those good ideas that comes in and ruins the whole thing. And that's why it's never going to work, because there's all these pukes running the world.
Unless you make it legal, like, hey, if you're being shitty, we just kill you.
That's, you know, like,
and that's what Pol Pot did, or what he thought. It was his opinion of what shitty people were.
Wasn't he the one that turned all the kids against their parents and had the kids turning their parents in? I think that was Pol Pot.
I don't know. It might be.
It was one of those genocidal maniacs. I want to say it was him, which is messed up. You know, I always tell my daughter jokingly, like, you're going to be eating me out of a tin one day. It's just, you know, with the way things are going, you know, and you're going to like it.
Yeah. So is this stuff that fuels your music or no? We talked about it. You try to keep politics out of it.
I do. Lyrically, I have always been either from personal experience, social commentary. I try to stay out of the political arena, but you can get just as pissed off in a social,
absolutely,
you know, aspect as well. And you know, like, you can also, like, sing with aggression about things that aren't necessarily what you would define as aggressive, an aggressive topic.
Yeah.
The one song that we're working on now it actually touches on topic of suicide.
Okay.
And, you know, it's one of the heavier songs that we're working on.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's room for it. You know, you just got to kind of fit it in a way that works contextually.
Yeah. It's whatever you want to express, you know. It's like, for me, I always kind of like, I always liked playing with the idea, because you can draw parallels between the macro and the micro. And the macro would be the world politics, how things work, blah, blah, blah. And then the micro is your personal relationship with somebody else, you know? So I always kind of like to try, if you look at any of these old Kalo songs, the first verse it's very ambiguous. It could be a relationship, or it could be me pissed at the fucking man.
Yeah.
You know
that's
what I mean?
How I try to be too. I try to be ambiguous about my lyrics, because I want people to be able to make the songs their own.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about that, but
I have to think it's this way. You know? Yeah. So I've always, for my own personal art, if you call it, you know, like, that was my kind of challenge, was to make it, and it's more poetic that way too, in my opinion, you know, to not be so on the nose about things.
Yeah, to be on the nose. I mean, now you're Rage Against the Machine,
right?
You know, and
it works in punk, rap. Rage
punk and
Against the
rap
Machine.
and everything. It has to be on the nose, right? Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, if you're a lot of the times I'm writing lyrics and I don't even know these words that are coming out of me. I mean, I know the words, but they just kind of flow out, just like you talk to any musician that writes music, they're always going to say, I don't know, just kind of, I felt it. I was kind of just anybody that's honest about it is just going to, I was just letting it channel through me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not mine.
Right.
It's just going through me. It's the way the facet of my prism on the of life is seeing things.
Right.
That's
how it's catching that rainbow and coming in right now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've always had that same experience. I think anybody does creative stuff. You know, like when you get in that zone, like things just kind of flow through you, and it's just like you step back afterwards, you're like, damn. Like,
well, yeah.
And a lot of times, at least for me, when I write something that I'm proud of, I don't even know. Like, I'm like, how the fuck did that come out of me?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that good.
Yeah. Or, because if you're in an intense relationship or something's going on and that emotion's flowing through you and this goes on, whatever, or say you just read a bunch of history books or, whatever, or, and then, oh, that's on your mind. Or, I mean, God forbid you watch too much TV. All that stuff. That's why I think you see a lot of, musicians writing songs about books they've read and stuff like that. You get
inspired by it and just pulled by it in some way or another, and the journey comes out of you and flows into what you're writing. I've had that experience so many times, and not even just with that, with like writing ideas in general. Because I write outside of music. And I've had things. I've always said, do you know what a spec shoot is? Like when you do a spec shoot. So like Nike, we did this when I was going to digital media school. Nike did a spec shoot so what they'll do is they'll say, we want to do an ad. You do your version of the commercial, and if we like it, we'll pick it up. Mm-hmm. So you're up against a bunch of other people putting together a commercial.
Yeah.
And so, like, where writing's concerned, I almost feel like in the field of, like where you're the antenna picking it up, it's almost like a spec shoot kind of thing where it goes out there and whoever picks it up and takes it first is the one that gets it. That's why you get a lot of bands that have similar ideas, similar sounds, stuff like that. Sometimes there'll be a similar riff or something, like, and then you get chord battles and,
Well, and I think, I don't know if we talked about it. I've talked about this before, but when in Waking Life, the movie.
I know of it. I've never seen it.
So there's this scene with Ethan Hawke and Julie Delphi, I think. I don't know. They're sitting in bed and he's whatever, and he's talking about like basically the same thing. Go watch the scene, guys, in Waking Life. Pull it up on YouTube. And it's like when somebody thinks something, it's like we're all one mind, and as soon as it's out there, it's like everyone else gets it at the same time, Yeah. I truly believe in the oneness of everything, for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that we're all one. We're all one conscious mind.
Oh, I agree.
There's no doubt in my mind.
It's that morphic resonance that I was talking. We were talking about that, the last version of this.
Yeah.
Where something can change in a compound. Xylitol, I think, was an example of the video that I watched where they were explaining this. And I'm no scientist, so don't take anything I'm saying as gospel. But basically, xylitol, I want to say crystallized or something, and it had never done that in the way that it did it before. And then when it did that, all the rest of the started doing it.
Sure. So and they see that same thing in animals, and Yeah, well, yeah, watch the Y Files too, guys. Another good one.
The Y Files?
The Y Files is it's pretty good. It's like a podcast thing.
Okay.
Definitely off of the old the Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
What's his name?
George Norrie.
No. That's not it. Is it? No.
Space Ghost?
Not Space Ghost.
It was Coast to Coast too.
No, the guy with the conspiracy theories.
It was George Norrie and then
Art Bell.
Art Bell, yeah. Art Bell was the original. George Norrie took over.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's a lot of that stuff,
Okay.
So interesting stuff. He'll go through it and tell the whole story, and then he'll like debunk it or be like, well, it's true, or at the end, and it's really good. I remember that new movie, The Back Rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did like years ago, he did like a thing on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like this internet thing that went out and people were saying they're getting lost in this other dimension where it's just like a bunch of old, like, looks like 70s decor,
Yeah. Liminal spaces, they call it.
Yeah. So.
My daughter got into that. She was telling me about it like back when she first got in. She's like, I'm into liminal spaces. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she had to like show me. I'm like, oh yeah, Dad's getting old. Like gotta school me.
Yeah, I think he debunked that for that's like not like a real thing, obviously,
right.
But I guess people were just getting like footage of like abandoned places, and then like cutting it together with other videos, or whatever. I don't know.
Did you see the one that was going around for a while? It was like a guy, and he was supposed to be in the future, and he was telling people like, leave something somewhere where it won't be found, and I'll find it in the future. And he was like actually pulling up things that were found. I'm guessing the people were probably planted,
right?
But he was like walking around cities and stuff like, there's no people here. It was weird. It was interesting to watch, but it's like some camera fuckery.
Yeah.
Going on,
Well, if you watch the Y Files, there's all kinds of stuff. There's a guy that like they say was a time traveler, and they pull up like these old photos, and like he's in the picture, and like he's got like a cell phone in his hand or something like that, or some crazy shit, whatever. I don't know. There's all. I watch the Y Files. Don't watch this. If you want that, but if you want more of us talking about something else, then keep watching.
Or me dribbling, I'm sure.
Yeah, you slob.
All right.
What else? I don't know. What else you got, man?
Oh man, I don't know. I think I'm kind of like.
Yeah, you feel you feel satiated with the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, with it is what it is with what we're doing. We're just recording, no plans on playing out, and we're just hoping people will enjoy what we put out. So like, maybe I don't know.
What are we calling this again?
Calling what?
God mode still.
Yeah, it's still God mode. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm not writing anything off as far as like me doing something down the road.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, I'm just trying to focus on this and work and home life type shit.
Well, but, I hear you're a great dad.
I try to be. That's been my focus, it's really been keeping me busy over the years, is just being there for her. And that time comes and goes real quick, and she's already 16, and
it's crazy.
In a couple of years she'll be out, or maybe not necessarily out, but she'll be old enough to be out.
I haven't seen you in a while, and you could tell me she's 16 or 28, and my perception of time is so bad that like I'd believe either one and be shocked at both.
That is the crazy thing when you have a kid is it's like you have this physical like measuring stick of time that's right there in front of you, constantly reminding you how much has changed and how many years have passed, you know. It's like same way before I had a kid, you know. It was like time passes and you don't think about like all the things that change in that time.
No, I always tell people, I'm like, you know, the fact that you guys had kids are making me feel old.
Right. Because you're watching their kids grow up.
Right. It's your fault.
Right. Damn you. I wouldn't have a gray on my face if it wasn't for your damn kids.
That's how W.C. Fields comes in, though. You know who W.C. Fields is, yeah. But yeah. All right. Well, check out Godmode. I think you should. And the Y-Files, I guess. And I don't know. You guys like research, how capitalism versus socialism has worked or not worked throughout the past 2,000 years. And then kind of comment in the
in the comments.
In the comments.
Right.
And I want to hear all the opinions on, you know, you got to have an original opinion. Like, I don't want you to just say socialism sucks, you're fucking dude. And capitalism sucks because fucking greed. I don't know. Say something interesting. I don't know. Or say something about Godmode. Or something.
As long as it's good.
I'll edit all the bad comments of Godmode out. I don't know. Can I do that? I never tried. But
you can keep all the high strangeness in. It's cool. We've always done that. Let people hammer on us. They've actually been pretty kind this time around. We're not popular enough to have the haters. Just the people that are drawn to us are listening to us. Right
you
now,
know,
so.
You've made it when you have haters.
Yeah. So we haven't made it.
All right. Patrick Walkey. Do you like Patrick?
Yeah. I can rock either one, but I've been kind of leaning towards that lately.
Oh, really?
Just changing it up a little, you know, like midlife crisis stuff.
Yeah. I think I want to I'm like when people call me Vince or Vinny or something like that, I just want to correct them and be like, it's Vincent Rocco.
There you go. You just gotta assert yourself, man. Yeah. Like some people started calling me Patrick, and I just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
I had the old guy next door to me calls me Pete. I don't even correct him. I just, like.
Is that no? Because Peter would be
Yeah. No, it has nothing to do with my name, but I just think it's fun.
How about Rick?
I've never heard anybody use Patrick as Rick short for Patrick. I mean, it's usually short for Richard.
I know, but there's got to be somebody out there that goes, no, I go by Rick.
I'm sure there is.
I know an Eric that goes by Rick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is weird to me.
How about a Derek? Do you know a Derek that goes by Rick? I don't even know a Derek. I don't think I've ever met a Derek.
Derek Hess.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't know Derek. I'm a fan of his work, but I don't know him.
Do people call him Rick?
Do they?
I don't know.
Are you? Oh, okay. I thought you said, dude, people call him Rick.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you were asserting that.
Oh, I am not asserting anything ever.
I'm saying, now I'm going to have to go have a talk with him and see if people really
because
call him Rick.
Derek and Patrick.
Vinny says so.
That's right. Okay, we're getting silly now. No, seriously, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate doing this twice now. I think you're the only.
First you don't succeed.
Yeah. Well, the first time was a success. I don't know. I just never edited it, put it out, whatever, and then we're like, let's continue on, and here we are. And I wonder how much we repeated. I don't know.
I'm sure there's some overlap, but I have a tendency to get a little ADHD sometimes and jump from subject to subject. So
Right.
I'm hoping that we at least kind of covered some stuff that maybe wasn't fully explained in the last round.
I think we did. And we got the politics in there and everything. So
yay. I could have done without the politics personally, but hey, you know.
Hey, you rolled with it. But no, yeah, I like to stay away from that too. But all right, no, seriously. Thank you. This is Subseally. We are out.